Alright guys, had a couple people ask me about this gear door sequencing for the F-15. I opted to get the gear door sequencer built in. You don't have to, it's extra, but it's worth it because it doesn't add any weight versus you having to buy an external gear door sequencer. Plus they give you the handy dandy programmer with it anyways, so it's kind of a nice feature. It's real simple to set up. Makes these more sophisticated gear door sequencing easy. With the F-15, it has 7 doors. 2 stay open when the gear doors are down, which these will be closed, and this one stays open obviously because the strut, the nose gear door closes when the gear is down. So only those 2 will stay open when the gear door is down. The rest close, but they all have to open, and the 2 that are open have to remain open when the gear comes up, and then they all close when the gear goes up. It has 3 ports, a nose, right, and left, and it says door, so you can't get them mixed up. Each port can be individually programmed, I believe. I don't know if right and left, I'm not 100% if these 2, whatever you do to either one, does it to both. I think you can do each port individually, but what I did is put the gear door sequencer that controls the 2 that stay open on the nose, and all the other gear doors that close when the gear are down are on another sequencer or valve, and I have them plugged into left. The first thing you have to do is tell the programmer what is open for each valve, and you have to get each valve opening when you hit the open and closing when you hit the close button. So what I had is when I first turned it on, powered it on, things that when I pressed open would close, things when I hit close would open. So they were reversed. So what you do at that point, you just simply select the valve, like say the nose, the ones I had plugged in the nose were reversed. Select nose, if you hit open and it closes but you want it to be open, you hold open and then either go plus or minus, and it just simply reverses the servo. So that's what I was missing initially, because if you don't do that, you can set up all the doors to work like you need them until you turn the power off, and then when you turn the power off, turn it back on, that servo will reverse. So just remember to do that first. Then at that point you have to just tell the box what gear doors or what sequencers or valves you want to remain open when the gear door is down. So you put the gear down, and say I had the ones that were supposed to close open. So I would simply select left for that air valve, and then I would go closed, open, closed, and it would reverse it in the down position, and that door would remain closed. The ones that were supposed to stay open, if they were closed when you put the gear down, you would just select nose and you would put open, closed, open. So whatever the 2 in the last button is, it will actually memorize that position. Just remember, when you hit these buttons, open, close, open, that valve does move. So if you don't want to damage anything, just be cognizant of that. So when the gear door is down, I told the 2 doors that stay open, I just selected nose, and I went, because they were closed initially, they were trying to close on me, so I just went open, closed, open. They would open and stay open. You unplug the sequencer or the programmer at that point to basically finalize the programming. So do your adjustment, and I would say do one adjustment at a time just to keep it simple. Make your adjustment, unplug it, it kind of locks it in, then you can plug it right back in, type deal. And that's pretty much it. And then once I got the gear doors working with it like they need to be in the down position, you hit the button, and the ones that were closed open, the ones that were already open stay open, the gear comes up, and then they automatically all close. The reason it does that is because you tell it, it knows, because that's what the problem was. If you don't tell it initially and make everything open when you hit the open button, you could have a reverse function at that point. Like the ones that stays open when the gear's down, if you hit the button to bring the gear up, it could close if it's in the wrong position. That's why I say make every valve open when you hit the open button. So you would just select the left nose, check to make sure it's in the right, going in the right direction, and then boom. So, and that's pretty much it. And I'm pretty sure I didn't even have to do anything when they were in the up position. It just automatically, everything closed because it knew what was open was. So it knows that everything needs to be closed when the gear door is up, or when the gear is up. So it'll close everything for you when the gear goes up. So all you really have to set is the gear doors with the gear in the down position. And once you get that done, it's it. That's pretty simple. And it comes with some instructions. They pretty much explain everything I did, or I said. A little bit harder to understand for me. The problem that it doesn't really talk too much about, and is the getting everything going in the right direction. You know, if something's reversed when you hit the open button, I figured that was just, you know, the way the servo was, you know, direction was, you know, because you could have one servo, like this servo would be going the right direction and this one would be the wrong, just because the servo arm's on the other side of the servo. But that's not how it's designed to work. You have to tell it what open is or closed is for each valve. That way it can kind of know, if it knows all the open positions, doesn't matter if it's closed or open for a particular gear setting, it knows that when the gear goes up, everything should go closed. So, but oh yeah, here's the, it comes with 2 books. One talks about the whole retract system itself, and then this one talks about all the programming. So I've got these on the F-15 gear as well, and when I get these installed on the F-14, I'll do a video for those guys that are following that build thread. But that's it. I am at the point where I'm gonna start putting everything back in it. I still haven't made these wood blocks yet. That's coming. I've been busy at work trying to get up flying, so I haven't had too much time. Plus I've got in-laws here for the weekend. That is about it. I'm gonna make a new cross beam. The cross beam that comes with it is just one piece. I'm actually gonna have the typical shape piece that comes across the top that kind of arches, but I'm also going to have one piece that goes straight across, because there's no problem with clearance turbine clearance, just to kind of help strengthen it. And I'm also going to make the portion that goes over this, like so these forward and back pieces are going to be a little bit bigger, and I'm actually going to bring them down here where I can put a bolt and a bolt instead of just having this one little bolt. Just personal preference, nothing that you have to do. And I'm going to throw some carbon fiber. I bought some resin and some carbon fiber cloth, and I'm probably going to go through here and put some carbon fiber on stuff just to strengthen it, especially this one. This is the main spar. They cut a lot of holes, and this used to be a place where air tanks would go. It would be much better if that was all just solid wood with some holes cut in it, instead of cutting out all this material back here. Because this, like I said, this is your main, one of your spars, main spar for your wing clamps here. The forward spar clamps right here. And like I said, there's nothing going through this bulkhead, but behind this fuel tank you can kind of see it. They pretty much cut all the friggin' all the wood out of it. And they do have some carbon fiber in there, but I'm actually probably going to take a cross beam going like that, apply, and do some carbon just to strengthen it, because this model is going to be heavy. Well, it'll be lighter than most, but when I go putting the wing stores and stuff on it, and the center tank, it's going to have a lot of drag and extra weight. So that's just what I'm going to do for my personal preference. I got to move these air valves, or air gauges. So I'm gonna have to make a new tray, which kind of sucks because this was a pain to make. With these guys sticking, I may not have to make a new one. I take that back. I may just have to lower these. These things sticking up like they do hits the inside edge right here, and it causes it to push up a little bit. So I can either cut a bigger hole and lower them, or take them off. I could just take them off and just leave the hole there, or put a new decal over it. And because you can read these valves from the top or from the front, so what I could do is just mount the valves right here and just read them from the top. It's easier to read when you look at it from the top view instead of just trying to look right here. For some reason it just sticks out better the other way. But that's it. Like I said, this was for the guys that were asking about the sequencer. If I've confused you completely, just call Ron at Down Unlocked. He can walk you through it. But it's pretty simple. Like I said, just get everything opening or closing with the button switches. So if you hit close and one opens, just reverse it to closing. And once you do that, just tell what gear doors you want to be open or closed when the gear's down, and that's it. So till then, till next time, you guys have a good one. Take it easy.